Hey guys, it's your girl Kay and baby Sky, and we're back with another video. Say hey, baby Sky. Say hey. Somebody's getting sleepy. But today, I asked some of you on Snapchat about childbirth / labor questions. So today, I'm going to be doing a video on that. The first question I got was, when I do find out I'm pregnant, what do I do first? Like, what's the first thing I do whenever I find out? So, when you first find out, see me, whenever I first found out, I pretty much panicked and I didn't take no time to even think about it. I just went and straight told TJ, which that's what you should do, is tell your partner. But ladies, please take a minute and think about it. Get time to deal with it for yourself before you go and just tell someone else. You gotta be able to know your feelings first before you can deal with someone else's, because you gotta know where your mind is at and how you feel about it. Because even being young, or just even a person, you know, when you go and tell someone else, you know, they may not feel the same as you do. Which I'm not saying that happened to me or anything, or anybody I know. I'm just saying, like, just take time for yourself and know how you feel about it. Especially if you're a first-time mom, you want to think things through. Just cope with it first. And you could be very excited about it. That's awesome. But just still let it set in with you, and you think about it before you run and tell someone else, whether it's your mom or anybody. You gotta know how you feel before you can go and feel someone else's feelings. Don't listen to anyone else whenever they say anything about your pregnancy. It's your body, it's you. Take that time for yourself. Because I see a lot of people who are pregnant and they're like, well, if my mom, this and that, you know, it's you. So just figure out what you want to do first before you just go telling people or whatever. Just think about it. And I'm talking way too much, so I'm just gonna go on with the next question. But yeah, you get the point. I hope I didn't say nothing wrong, but you get the point. Okay, I was talking way too much. So the second question is pretty much one of the biggest questions that you can ask a pregnant person who's went into labor. What does contractions feel like? That's the second question. So, honey.
Oh my God, I'm suing y'all. Oh, I'm hurt. Oh, my neck, my back, my neck and my back. Oh.
Contractions feel like, I'm talking about, you know, when you have a contraction, you're gonna know. You might think you do. Whenever I was pregnant, I was like, oh, I wonder how, like, people even know that they're having a contraction. No. I felt my contractions. Mine were kind of weird, but mine were in my lower back and my lower, like, not my lower, but the middle of my stomach and my lower back. That's where I felt mine at. And it feels like probably the sharpest pain you will ever feel in your whole entire life. And yes, I'm kind of being a little dramatic. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but it was rough. And I mean, I went all the way to 5 centimeters, and a lot of people don't even go to that before they get epidural, which is what we'll talk about too, because someone asked me that. So yeah, but contractions just feel like a big cramp, pretty much. Yeah. So we'll go on to the next question. Number 3. I got, did you tear, or did you have to have stitches? Pretty much the same question. But with tearing, it's different for everybody. Like, my aunt had like a 10-pound baby, and she like ripped all the way up everywhere. So, but I'm sure she had to have a lot of stitches. But baby Sky here, she was only 5 pounds 6.5 ounces when she came out because I had to have her early. And I tore, but I only had to have 2 stitches, so I didn't really tear bad at all. And some people don't tear at all, but some tear a lot. So it's different with everybody when it comes to tearing and stitches and all that. So question number 4, what does the epidural feel like? And I got asked to talk about the epidural also, so a few people wanted to know about the epidural. Epidural for me, as you see, I keep making these and honeys because labor is no joke, but I mean, my labor was pretty easy, I guess, but epidural, back to that, I keep getting off track. It's a big needle, it's like this big. I just remember being in the room and like I didn't want to look at it because I already knew how big it was, because of course I looked it up because, you know, that's what everybody does. It's literally goes into your spine, and it felt like somebody was like, to me, I couldn't even breathe whenever she was putting it in. Like, it kind of hurt. But I'm a dramatic person, so I'm not really sure. No, I'm just kidding. So the epidural, it was like magic. It really worked because honestly, they put some stuff on your back to numb you before you get the shot, so you really can't even feel the shot too much, which I did a little bit, but not much. Like, a big old needle that's going in your back, you would feel a whole lot if they didn't put that numbing stuff on there. But I didn't really feel it like that. So when she put that on there, I was pretty good. But like, I was at 5 centimeters, so I was suffering so bad. And then, so I was at 5 centimeters and I was hurting so bad. So like, I didn't even care. I just wanted the epidural. And then whenever I got it, it felt like magic because once they put it in, which it was, I was scared. It's more of a scary thing. Like, if you know that it's a big needle, so if you're scared, then of course it's gonna, you know, you're gonna think that it's hurting you, but it really doesn't. It doesn't hurt. It just, it feels amazing because once you lay back after you get that shot, those contractions that we were just talking about, they finally, they don't stop. They come like 10 times harder, but you can't feel them as much. And it pretty much paralyzes you from your hips down. That's what the epidural does. So, question number 5. What does it feel like whenever your water breaks? It feels like you're peeing out. It literally feels like you're peeing like you haven't peed in like a week. Like, straight water just comes out. Like, you know whenever your water breaks. Well, you should know because it's a lot. And I peed on myself pretty much a lot of my pregnancy because, you know, that's what pregnant women do. But it doesn't feel like you're normally peeing on yourself. It feels like you just dumped a big old pile or a big old gallon of water just dumping out. You know how it like just comes out and jerks out? Well, that's how it feels like. It just keeps on coming. It's a whole bunch of water. So, ooh, I caught that. Whoa. Oh. Here. So, yeah. You know when your water breaks. Well, hopefully. Question number 6. How will you know when to push? And how long will you push? Well, let me tell you something. You're gonna know when to push because it's gonna feel like straight pressure. It felt like I was about to poop on myself. That's what it felt like. It just feels like straight pressure, just pressure. And how long will you push? That is for, and also like the doctors will come in there and tell you when to push, like pretty much. I mean, you tell them when you start feeling like pressure, you know that it's coming. You know automatically, and you tell them, and then when they check you, the doctors will come in there and tell you when to start pushing. And how long, that's different for everybody. Once again, I got to like 8, and then I was at 8 centimeters, and then within like 20 minutes I was pushing, and she was out in like 5. Like, no joke, I didn't push that long at all. But that's a different story. So it's different for everybody. How long? 5, 6, 7. Question number 7. So, how will you know when it's time to go to the hospital? Because them contractions that I told you about, yeah, them contractions are gonna come, and that's when you're gonna know that you need to go to the hospital. Because if you don't, you ain't gonna be able to take the pain. You're gonna end up going. I mean, I knew, like, she was ready. Yeah, I was ready. No, I actually had, I don't know, because Braxton Hicks contractions, I actually went to the hospital a few times and didn't give birth. Like, so just whenever your gut is pretty much telling you to go to the hospital, that's when you should go to the hospital. Not just your gut, but you know what I mean. Like, when you start hurting and feeling a pain that you never felt before in your life, then go to the hospital. And question number 8, this is my favorite question, because this was the worst for me. This was the absolute worst for me out of the whole entire labor. So, what does afterbirth feel like? Afterbirth is horrible, and I couldn't imagine for people who tore like way more, because I only had to get 2 stitches, and it, when you go to pee, it burns so bad. But they give you this thing, this hospital thing, and this, oh, they gave me a hospital bath thing, and it felt so good, like just to sit in there and, you know, put the stuff, you know, then get in, sit on it. Oh, it feels amazing. It feels so good. But that and the spray, because it really burns whenever you pee and you bleed a lot. I freaked out whenever right after I gave birth, after she was here, there was blood everywhere, and I freaked completely out. Somebody's going to sleep. I freaked completely out. But after birth, I mean, you can bleed probably 2-3 weeks. I only bled for 3 weeks, but you can bleed up to like 6 weeks, I think, because, you know, you're 6 weeks postpartum or whatever. I'm not really sure about that, so I'm not gonna say that, but everybody's probably really different on that. But afterbirth for me was the worst probably out of the whole thing, because it's so uncomfortable and it hurts so bad under there. And you know, that cool spray and the water thing, it's the best. So how long does it take for your body to go back to normal? I'm wondering that myself, because mine is horrible. And I am really, a lot of people suffer from, even me, I'm not gonna lie, like, my body is really completely changed, and that's for any mother. But I had to face it and just realize that I carried the most beautiful thing in the world, and it was completely worth it, because my beautiful baby, like, so if I have to wear stretch marks and I have to be bigger than I was before, that's okay, because I created a beautiful human being, and that's all that matters. That I'm gonna lay down soon because she is knocked out. You couldn't last for the video? Really? You could not stay awake for the video? Wow. Wow, Sky. Y'all seen how knocked out she was, right? Please tell me y'all seen how knocked out she was. Like she literally just was before I laid her down. You was just knocked out. Okay, this is the last question, guys. And it's, how long did you have to go without eating before and after labor? For me, it was different because I had preeclampsia, so they tried to starve me. They tried to starve me, and I kept asking for ice over and over, which I think they don't want you to eat before because, like, in case you had to get into an emergency C-section, they don't want you to eat. That way, you know, food isn't everywhere. But after, I think you're allowed to eat. I wasn't allowed to eat because of my preeclampsia, and they had me on magnesium, whatever, and you can't eat on it. So I was starving a long time before then because you have to be on it for like 12 hours. Then I was starving after. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, please comment down below and I will answer them. So if this video was helpful to you, please leave me a thumbs up. Comment if you have any more questions that you would like me to answer, and I will comment back to you and let you know. Congratulations to all the mothers out there. I know it gets hard sometimes, but keep being you and keep being beautiful, and don't ever feel like you're not, because pregnancy is very, very hard. So I know. So yeah, just thank you for watching my video.